Welcome back to the channel. We share golf matches, golf lessons, tips, and most importantly, product reviews, which is what we're doing today from an 8 handicapper's perspective. Today, I'm looking at the PING G430 MAX driver, and I've got to say, I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far. In this short review, I get this driver into the simulator to test out how it feels, how it sounds, and most importantly, how it performs. Now, before we dive into this review, I'll be very honest. I did test this driver out a few months ago and I loved it so much that I actually bought it myself, and I'm pretty sure I've fallen in love with it. I just loved how easy it was to strike the ball out of the middle, even out of the heel, the toe. I just felt like there was consistency there, and it certainly helped me find more fairways. I was always a fan of the G425 MAX as well, but I just didn't like the sound of it off the club face. And a few of my friends play with the G425 MAX and they're brilliant, they're fantastic drivers. I just couldn't get over the sound. But with this driver, it seems to have been rectified. So let's get into the PING G430 MAX driver review. So onto the looks of the driver. Firstly, we have the new head cover from PING for the G430 range, which is all right. It's nothing special. I mean, it's a head cover at the end of the day. It's going to get covered in mud. It's not the best, it's not the worst. The club itself, well, you'll recognise the PING driver due to the top turbulators on the leading edge. Very recognisable as a PING driver, very similar to its predecessors as well. It has a matte black finish on the top, which is really, really nice. I really like the look of it. And it's quite large, but you can't really tell because it is also quite curved from front to back. So it does hide it quite well. And you can see on the back here, we've got adjustability for draw and fade settings. And my setting is set to draw to stop me hitting it out to the right too much. And in comparison to the G425 MAX, the face is a little shorter. I mean, you can't really tell, in all honesty. They've obviously given it a bit of a paintwork refresh, so changed the colours slightly, which I do like. I do like it, to be fair. It looks quite nice, and it goes well with the matte black crown on the top. So the shaft I've got in this driver is the Hazardous RDX Smoke Red. It's 60 gram and it is a stiff shaft. And now this is actually the one I was fitted for, and it just happens to be one of the 4 stock options as well. Now obviously when you go for a fitting, there's loads of options you can try, but considering that there's 4 options, together with the adjustability that you have got on this driver, it pretty much caters to everybody. So PING recognised in their G425 that people weren't really getting on with the sound. It did make a rather loud click with the previous model, albeit the performance of the 425 MAX was just outstanding. Now in this new model, they've changed the internal structure to dampen that sound, and it sounds more of a sort of quieter thud rather than a clicky high-pitched noise now. And I think it sounds really, really good when you strike it out of the middle. So if, like me, the sound of the 425 MAX did put you off a little bit, this is definitely the driver for you. So one of the things I love most about this driver is the feel out of the middle of the face. It feels so solid, and it kind of gives you the confidence that heel and toe strikes are still going to go where intended without losing too much distance. It doesn't feel like it flexes too much on impact, which is what I like. Onto the performance of the club. I first tested this club out a few months ago, as I mentioned, and since then I've had it out on the course for about 3 months now, and I've used it on every range session and every time I've played golf. And I've got to admit, I'm finding more fairways with it. I'm not noticing any real difference in distance compared to the previous driver that I had, and that was the TaylorMade Sim 2, but I am seeing more forgiveness. This driver is long and very, very straight, and it does let you get away with a lot of mishit drives as well. Next, I headed out to the simulator to see what the G430 MAX would show me in terms of numbers and accuracy. A bit out to the right, not horrendous. Nice one. So in this PING G430 MAX, it is the 9-degree head, but it is lofted up to 10 degrees. That's good, 162 ball speed. Probably the fastest yet and the highest. Right, high draw, just needs to think every time. draw.
If you can call it and you can do it, you've got to be happy with it.
Spin seems quite high, doesn't it? The spin numbers are coming quite high, but you do get forgiveness with higher spin numbers, don't you?
Yeah, you seem to be getting a better launch angle as well.
A little right, that one. Just left that face a touch open.
When you're trying to swing, what are you looking for launch
I'm looking
angle-wise?
for north of 14.
But south of? What's...
I don't, well, I want to hit it as high as I can at the minute. As long as it don't come off that top leading edge, then I'm pretty happy.
Must admit though, mate, these are quite consistent.
Yeah.
And your smash factor, your worst one has been 1.45.
Which is not bad, that actually, with driver, is it then?
Mate, it's not at all.
It's trying to come back in, it's drawing a touch. You see the shadow?
End of the day, you see the fairway there, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
You'll sometimes say, like, I'll see you hit a shot and you go, oh no, it's a bit too far out to right on there. And I'm like, mate, that is like my best ever drive, but about 6 foot inside of it.
Yeah. I am conscious that I know I'll play, I know this sounds obvious, but if the ball's in play, I'll score well that round. Even if the drives don't go that far.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming back round a bit. It's trying.
Had some hang time, that one, isn't it? I'm starting to get that little shape. It's quite nice.
Looks smart, mate.
It's quite a narrow, you'd say that's quite a narrow spread of balls.
And how long have you been on that driver now?
I've probably had this, 3 months now? I'd definitely say from this to my previous driver, I'm hitting more fairways.
And what was the reason for changing? Because I know you've always been in love with your Sims. What made you take that plunge?
Yeah, I found that I was hitting the same shots, but finding a lot more fades off the tee. So I was starting out to the right. You can see a lot of them start out to the right there, but just fading a bit too much. And we might see that when I test that one as well.
You'd hope so when you've spent money on it.
I'll hit down the middle.
At the end of this review, switches back to his old driver.
Oh, I fell back on that one. That was a wild one.
Yeah.
So that's just a straight fallback block. Just didn't.
We are not professional golfers.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? And that's what the Max is designed for, isn't it? Those off-centre strikes when you leave the face open slightly or even close it. And it's can that ball still find a fairway?
Right. Last one.
Yeah, last one.
The fact you managed to get 10 in a row.
Yeah, just took a bit of getting going, didn't it?
This is the biggest jinx ever.
Yeah, we've ruined it now.
Has that even left that centre line?
Bullet straight.
Oh, that's landed
We'll take
on
that.
the line.
So I mean, there's one out there, isn't there? There's one out there to the right. I'd probably be pretty happy with 9 out of 10 of those. Realistically, a good spread for the G430 MAX. I love the sound of it as well. Really nice.
It sounds like a gunshot. Like it is. I know it's not as loud as some of its previous models.
Yeah, the 425.
But there still is like that.
Yeah.
Farmer's field shotgun in background.
Yeah.
But it's quite nice. It's not like an off-putting noise.
No.
Firstly, what stood out for me was what Ping calls spin consistency. Now, I noticed that across the face, whether I was hitting heel, toe strikes, high or low on the face, I was getting very similar numbers for spin, around 2,900. And I thought that was quite impressive that there was no major jumps in spin and it didn't drop off on bad strikes either. My club head speed on the day was at 109 miles an hour, and that's what I'd expect to see. Anywhere between 105 and 110 on the course for me is probably roundabout what I gain. The launch angle of 15 or just over 15 degrees, I'm quite happy with. I kind of try and get it above 14 because I tend to hit a lower ball. And the average carry at around 262, there or thereabouts what I expect. Normally at my swing speed and how I deliver the club, I'm getting around 260 carry and around 280 total yardage. So it's pretty much bang on where I'd expect it to be. The big bit for me was the dispersion. I've used a lot of different drivers in the past, but this one was massive in terms of fairways hit. The 10 drives I used for this testing, pretty much, I would say 9 out of 10 of those would have found pretty much the middle of the fairway, which I'd be very, very happy with. And there were no major slices, no major hooks. And my bad one is losing it out to the right, so it really did help. So the verdict? Well, I've got to say, the PING G430 MAX is probably one of the best drivers I've used. For distance, for forgiveness, for finding fairways off heel and toe strikes, low and high strikes, very, very good. And I've not used a driver before that has hit as many fairways as I've done over the last 3 months. It's also one of the drivers with the most adjustability, with the movable weight on the back, being able to change the loft sleeve, and also the 4 different stock shafts that are available with it as well. So with the number of options you have available, this driver can pretty much suit anyone. And that's just one of the reasons I've now added it to my bag. The PING G430 does keep Ping at the top of the driving forgiveness chart. It has a much improved sound over its predecessor, the PING G425 MAX, leading to an all-round brilliant performance. If there was one thing I'd want to change, it is the price. It does retail at £525, which is steep, but I think you get what you pay for. Guys, hope you enjoyed the review. There's loads more to come, including a brand new putter in my bag and a few training aids that might help you with your swing. Thanks for watching. See you soon.